Greetings and salutations, ledgelords, ladies, and gender-fluid friends of any persuasion. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to Gamersledge. I am one of your hosts, Mark. Thank you for joining us. And joining us today is Matt. Hi, Matt.
Hello there, all you wonderful internet persons.
And also joining us is the non-British Dave.
Yeah, no, I'm not British. Who said that I was British?
I think he was picking on the way I said my intro bit.
Don't pick on Matt.
It's apparently protective Dave today.
Also, I don't know if you know it, but the stream's not switching.
Oh, it's not.
Of course not.
Well, yeah, why would it actually work the way I want it to? Seriously.
Exactly. You win again, technology.
Yeah, you win.
I'm gonna be annoyed this whole podcast because the drink I made is awful.
Well, whose fault is that?
Oh God, mine, but still.
You're gonna put a skin-tight red suit with little bunny ears off the top and a giant N on the front?
Oh God, it is. That's a good one. I used to love those commercials. The no, this is really truly awful. And I thought I was doing a good idea to finish up this one whiskey I didn't like. It was this and it's crazy because it's like my favorite brand, my standard, which is Tullamore Dew.
Tullamore Dew, yeah.
So my favorite go-to one is Tullamore Dew cider cask, which is just has a really great taste to it. It's awesome. I love it. And it's also cheaper than than the regular one, so even better. And then one day they came out with a rum cask version. So I was just like, well, the cider cask one is so good. I bet the rum one is fantastic. It is not. So I've been trying to be creative with getting rid of that bottle. So we had this there's a seltzer, a regular, what are those, like, flavored seltzers?
Right.
And it was like I think it was like grape flavored seltzer or something like that. Something like it's not like, you're drinking it. It's like sugar, it's not like a heavy flavor thing. It's just a lightly flavored seltzer. But I figured that'd be perfect. I was like, dilute that stuff, add a little flavor to it. Should be awesome. It's not. This is awful.
Well, you know what else is awful?
Oh, God.
Starting your week by going to turn on your $750 soundboard and finding out it's a paperweight.
Ew.
And then having to redo all the connections into the old soundboard you had and just starting to understand how much you took for granted on the new soundboard.
What happened to it?
It literally just wouldn't turn on anymore.
It's under warranty.
Yeah, it's under warranty, so I just had to send it back.
What's new?
It was almost a year old, actually. But
wow.
Yeah, but it since day one it had shorts in the pads, but I could work around that. You just had to finagle it very carefully so that it wasn't getting any external vibrations or whatever. And I actually bought a stand that sits next to my cockpit chair now so that I can reach it, because before I couldn't reach it. It was too far over there. Once I got this chair is like messed up everything. You can't see anything behind me anymore. But at the same time, I would not trade it for. It's amazing. I would not use it every day.
It looks comfy.
It's super comfy, and it also if I put the heat on, I fall asleep. But the rest.
I was just trying to say, you sleep in the thing, because that looks like time and a half right there.
I'm not gonna lie and say I've never fallen asleep in it. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, so I'm on the old soundboard now, and there's a lot less. What's up, Ken? How are you doing? I busted out. Oh, before we go around the room, let's just get this out of the way. What did you guys have for dinner tonight?
What did I have for dinner tonight?
Yeah.
I had chicken pot pie.
Nice.
We went to this diner, and I got chicken pot pie, mainly just so I can turn to Carrie and say, chicken pot pie. No. No, you don't.
That sounds like something super annoying I would do. So it was in that moment I was waffling whether I loved you or hated you.
Yeah, I think it was it's David Cross did a character, and I think it was Just Shoot Me, where it played this like super wrong character, and but that was like a thing he did in this like one thing, and it was just, I don't know. It's, you can look up the clip. It's funny.
Ken said he busted out the old grill today. He had ribs, carne asada, teriyaki chicken, and corn. That's like enough for like 4 families, dude.
Yeah, that's fantastic though.
What did you have, Matt?
It's a good question. What did we have tonight? It was and yes, I'm from the Midwest, so it's a hot dish, not a casserole, but tuna noodle hot dish. So, ye old tuna noodle hot dish. And I don't know what you did, but you had it working for a minute, and now you're in front of the screen that's switching behind you.
What the hell? I can't figure out. Like, it's not in the list. That's why I'm like, I don't understand what's happening here.
Nobody cares about the problems right now. What would hot dish versus what's, I never heard of this.
Oh yeah, and it's a northern Midwest thing. It is not a southern Midwest thing.
So anything that's considered a casserole is just called a hot dish? That's
pretty much. Yeah,
wow, where'd that come from?
It's a hot dish that you take to pat. The way I understand it, it comes from you. Especially around like church gatherings, right? You either bring a hot dish or you bring a cold dish.
Oh,
hot dish. So basically, anything that's generally some sort of meat and noodles and sauce thrown together in a dish of some sort that you bake. Generally, that's a hot dish.
Ha ha ha!
Oh, hey, there's me.
I fixed it.
So yes. Now the funny thing is we may go so far as to say, yeah, put the hot dish in the casserole, because the casserole dish is still technically a casserole dish, even if you put a hot dish in it.
I don't even want to get into this. This sounds complicated.
Yeah, no, this. I mean, the next thing, once you start going down this rabbit hole, the next thing you're married. So don't.
Hey, many things have happened over a good hot dish. So
anything. Anyways, we made. Lexi turned to me and said, "Do you want teriyaki chicken?" I said no, and
nodded your head yes, because that's what you just did.
No, I'm just thinking. I'm thinking through the steps in my mind, going, "Yes, it was like this." So we ended up making smothered chicken, and it was really good. The only thing is we had too much cayenne pepper. But beyond that, it was super good. So we're gonna do it again this time with less cayenne pepper. But man, it turned out really good. I took pictures. I'll put them up in the Discord later.
Nice.
So,
my favorite story of cayenne pepper is when my mom was sick one time when I was in high school. My mom's a really good cook, so like, you know, she's always awesome, and she used to make a really good beef and barley soup, or beef and barley stew, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And it was awesome, but she would always, my mom's like, you know, she passed on the reason why, like, you know, I cook where I'm just like throwing stuff at things, like, you know, oh, tastes fine. You know, that's how I learned all that. So she always cooked to taste. Well, she was sick one time and lost her taste buds, and she just kept putting in cayenne until she could taste it. And it nearly killed my father and I, because we polished off like a whole loaf of bread, beef and barley, just trying that, because neither one of us, you know, we were afraid to say that, like, you know, oh, you know, we cannot do this for fear of death, because if we were afraid if we said that, we would be murdered.
But see, it made you better men.
Yeah.
Into the man you are today.
But it was like, she was just like, why are you guys sweating and crying?
So now that we've tackled food and gotten that out of the way, let's talk very quickly through the announcements, and then we'll jump into the main bulk of the show. First, I do want to thank everybody that's followed us on Twitter and on Twitch. We are currently just 12 follows away from 1,550 follows on Twitch, which is nuts. So thank you to everybody that's coming through. If you know somebody who might enjoy the show, please do send them our way. Also need to give a shout out to Shank the New, Mr. J Nice, and Neo Sapien. Why do we give them shout outs at the top and bottom of every show? Because they're generously subbed to us through mechanics.gg, which is a creator forward platform that pays creators like us 100% of the donations or subs you send our way. The link is incoming in the chat right now. There it is. Plus, if you follow us on Mechanics, you automatically get 5,000 free Stardust to mess with us as we're playing games. And all of our socials are linked there as well. So if you want to follow us on the YouTubes or the TikToks or any of that good stuff, that's the place to do so. Second, we are affiliates with XSplit Broadcasting Software, which we've used for almost 10 years now, which is nuts. It's constantly updated with new features because it is a paid product. If you follow the link in chat, we'll get you 10% off whatever you buy, including the lifetime sub, which is a pretty significant chunk of change to save. We are partnered with and sponsored by Z-League, which is a service in which you can play in Warzone, Apex, League of Legends, or Halo tournaments with actual cash prizes. And not only can you win cash, but if you play in just 5 tournaments in 1 month, you're automatically entered into a drawing to win a PS5 just for playing the games you already play and love. So check out Z-League. We are also, we've got new merch in the merch store. We have a brand new Emancipation of Dragons from our D&D actual play t-shirt that went up this week. And it is infinitely amusing and stupid at the same time. It's one of the best things I put in the shop, so check that out. And then also we are part of a group of streamers called Streamers for Kids, which promotes Extra Life, which is a charity to buy sick kids in hospitals gaming equipment to make the things they're in the hospital for not quite as unbearable. If you'd like to donate and brighten some child's day, simply follow the link in chat. And the schedule for the rest of this week, tomorrow, noon Pacific, 2 Central, 3 Eastern, will be AEW Rampage live reactions and reviews. And then back here on Sunday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 4 Central, 5 Eastern, for Sunday Streamer Tech Support, 5 hours of Q&A about anything you can possibly think of, whether it's streaming, hardware, software, games, etc., and a whole lot of chatting that we do as well. I never think we're going to have 5 hours of content, and we do every single week with stuff left over, so come join us for that. It will be a lot of fun. And that will round out the rest of this week. Last but not least, I always forget to say so. If you are a Fortnite player or you use the Epic PC Store, we are an established Epic partner. Enter code Gamersledge on the store page if you feel like supporting us. We greatly appreciate it. Again, that code is Gamersledge. And
remember, Fortnite wipes it all the time.
Yes, Fortnite gets rid of it all the time. Epic Store does the same, actually. So I wonder if it's some kind of bug with their processing platform or something. I don't know.
It's a bug that keeps them from having to pay out.
Yeah, 100%. 100% true. True story. So with that, now it's time to go around the room and find out what these fine folks have been doing since the last time we had the show, which was, I believe, a month ago. Or 3 weeks ago.
No, I think we're doing pretty good.
Just a couple of weeks.
Was it?
Yeah.
Are we back on schedule? I thought we.
We're back on.
I thought we did. Oh, that's right, because we did an extra one.
Yeah.
We did an extra podcast, and then we took an extra week. So I don't.
Right.
Whatever. Yes. Okay. Great.
Yeah, dude, we're good.
Yeah. So then, Dave, what have you been up to for the last 2 weeks?
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Hi. How you doing? I'm doing stuff. I'm playing stuff. So I beat this like little indie game that I don't know, it's like old. It's called a Zelda Link to the Past. It was on some system, like some Super Nintendo thing.
I'm almost afraid to talk about any Zelda game for fear of us getting copyright struck on YouTube.
Well, I'm not gonna sing it or anything like that, even though it does have my favorite piece of music in it.
Which one is that?
The Fairy Fountain music. I just love that. Mainly because it makes me think of like, that scene in Scott Pilgrim where they used it in there, and I really love that version of it that they used in Scott Pilgrim.
Listen, I know you don't watch the shows during the week, but when we take a break and I have to step away for whatever reason, 2 of the songs that I actually have are full orchestral arrangements of Soraya Song and Song of Storms.
Oh, nice.
So just FYI.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, I just, want to, get geared up for the new game coming out. So I wanted to play through the old one, just play through a classic one. So I did. Link to the Past, finished it up. Did have to use a walkthrough a couple times just to figure out some of the little one-off stuff, that I would forget about. So I had a lot of fun with that. That was great. Played it on the Switch. So fantastic way to play it. Thinking of starting a Minish Cap in the meantime, if I can squeeze that in or whatnot. We'll see how it goes. I also picked up Advance Wars, showed up, the remake of Advance Wars 1 and 2. Um, Big fan of those old games. Although they're cursed, on releases, because they always release at like horrible times. I remember getting the first Advance Wars on 9/12. So that was awful. And then this one got delayed because they were about to release it right when Russia invaded Ukraine. So that was terrible timing on that one. So they just said, we're just going to wait a while. And, now apparently it's okay. That being said, the game's great, especially if you like, it's not an overly complicated strategy game, grid-based units, have advantages. You have your commanding officers with advantages. And, then there's like a little like power up they can do in the middle that, gives you, some bonuses. Simple, but like, straightforward, very colorful, very, they updated all the animations and everything like that. It's a great little game. It's a lot of fun. If you like, kind of like light strategy games, it really scratches that itch. It's a great pick up and play game because you just can, pick it up, start going through a level, shut it off in the middle of it. You can continue. It's all good. So, it's a great one to pick up. Decent value because there's like 2 games in one. So, a lot of fun stuff in there. Multiplayer, all that stuff's in there. You can create your own maps, whatever you want to do. So it's, I don't know, it's just another slam dunk, by the first party. And what else was there? And I'm trying to get time on the first Star Wars game. I know I just got the new one in today, but I never finished the last one on the PS5, so I'm still kind of playing through that. Just not getting enough time on the PS5, so I got to work on that. Caught up on AEW stuff. Actually, except no, that's not correct. The last All Access I haven't watched yet.
I haven't watched any of those yet. I haven't had the time.
Yeah, they're actually pretty fun. They're interesting.
Yeah, that's what Ken said. Ken's watched like almost all of them, and he's really enjoying it.
It does seem like they're really trying to like push Sammy in it. And they brought up, it's just like, since like, they got together, like, hey, Ty, you're not, wrestling anymore. Or, you mad about that? You should be, because you were awesome in the ring and now you're doing nothing.
Well, she's wrestling outside the ring. Heyo. Okay, next topic. Sorry, just kidding.
Caught up on Picard. And did you watch it to the end? Or
Yeah.
give up?
Yeah. No. Season 3 was what season 1 kind of should have been.
Yeah.
And
I did get annoyed, like on like the couple episodes right before the end when they brought in, a certain character group. I was just like, really? And I just threw my hands up in the air. I was like, come on. I was like, this doesn't make any sense. I was really prepared to like get very annoyed at that. But man, I love that ending.
yeah, no, it's fine. And I think I'm not sure what there's no spoiler in this whatsoever. I'm not sure what the year jump ahead was supposed to do for anyone there, but okay, sure. Whatever.
Because
if that had been the end of the series or end of the episode, sure. But then they immediately went to the next thing and it was like, well, okay, that's weird.
yeah, but then there was like the little post credits thing.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, that can make up for some
Right.
stuff
Right.
that I was mad at last season.
I don't know that'll make up for anything from season 1 and 2, but sure. I still hate, and I use that word deliberately.
Understandable.
I hate season 1 and 2 of Picard because, like, literally, it's like the writers just chose to forget. And look, listen, I'm going to go ahead and spoil this. It's a season old. How do the writers forget that Guinan had already met Picard in the 1800s.
Yeah.
And it was a young Guinan, not an old Guinan. So it's like, let's just conveniently forget that. Yes, I have nothing. Season 2 is better. Better. The beginning of season 3.
Start off strong.
Well,
I liked it.
oh, I'm sorry. I'm still thinking about season 2 because I just loathe it so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, season 3 was good, and it was its own thing. But then it felt like a completely different series at that point, where everything was shoehorned in, and but at the same time, it was good, and I did enjoy it, and it felt like Trek again, even though it was so horribly predictable. I mean, almost every step of it was pretty predictable, especially when they moved to the crew member of the week format.
Yeah, but like, whatever. It was
But it was still enjoyable. Like, yeah, I would say if you don't watch season 1 and 2, the series Picard is fantastic. Just watch season 3 and don't worry about the rest of it.
the worst part is you can just watch season 3.
Yeah.
And like it's like those first 2 seasons really didn't matter.
Mm-mm.
There is not a single thing that I had to remember from the previous ones.
Well, the only thing that they bring up is the fact that Picard is now a robot rather than. But then again, it doesn't mean anything. So,
yeah.
I think that's the only thing you would need to know going in is that he had his body replaced.
Yeah,
because that is kind of part of season 3.
That's true.
But beyond that, no.
Yeah. So that was good. Also, I wanted to rewatch from the beginning before catching up on Barry. Did you ever watch that?
It's on my list. I have not watched it yet.
Barry is fantastic.
Oh, I know, and I really want to watch it, and I love him. Bill Hader's fantastic.
It's man, that show is a roller coaster. There's some, it's good. I don't know where this thing is going, which is kind of cool, because like, it's one of those shows where it's just like, okay, we're going for a ride, all right. But it's just excellent all around. Bill Hader is a really good actor in this, and it's it's a lot of fun, and it's getting serious, and it's like that it's fun. It's all over the place, so it's really good. Highly recommend that one.
So before we move on, Picard, what would you rate it?
Just this season?
Take your pick.
I mean, overall, 6. If I have to count the first 2.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
3, the season 3 was definitely much better, and I hate that the ending made me feel so good. I was just like, oh.
Well, I mean, I would give season 3 probably a 7.5.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And it does actually foster some hope for Star Trek Legion, which is supposed to be the continuation spinoff show, basically with that post-credit screen or
the
tease.
Next generation.
Yeah, the next generation. And then I think there was talk of another spin-off series from it, and I'm trying to remember what it was. But
there was a movie. They're supposed to be doing a movie.
Yeah, they're doing a Section 31 movie.
Yeah.
But I thought there was another one that was supposed to be spinning.
Another series?
Yeah.
Oh, no,
I'll have to go back and find it in my history.
Yeah, I remember the one series and the movie they were just talking about. I might have missed the other one. So yeah, we're rewatching Walking Dead from the beginning for some reason. I think my wife was on a kick from Last of Us, and she was just like, "We never finished Walking Dead. I heard it got better at the end." So let's just rewatch it because I forget it. And it's kind of fun because, like, going back and watching a show that long because you're like, oh, dude, I forgot about that. And it's just like, and then there's like little foreshadowing things, and you're just like, oh man, this is, you're looking at like, you're looking at this character, and you're just like, oh man, it's like you're adopting a puppy with a terminal illness, and it's just like, ugh. But it's fun. It's good stuff. And we're still at the before it, takes a little dip. But again, I heard it got a lot better, toward the end. So we're gonna stick through it this time. So that's fun. What else was there? I thought there was something else. I think that might be it for right now. Oh, Succession. Apparently in the last season of that, if you haven't watched that show, that's an amazing show. That's a great series to binge, at this point. Um, and they're into the last season now, which, yeah, that show's going places too. So,
And you have one other thing to discuss.
oh, what is it?
You watched Super Mario.
Oh yeah, we did. We went to take. God, that's already been that long.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, we went to see the Super Mario movie. My son was super excited about it, and luckily he was on spring break that week, so we had plenty of time to go out. And he absolutely loved it. He was even catching a lot of the little like jokes and everything like that. Like they broke out like a couple different types of mushrooms, and he was like, "Oh, that's going," and he knew like what was going to happen there. So he loved it. The movie was just fun. Like anybody that's like hating on that movie, it's just like, like what did you want like some kind of like Oscar winning story or anything like that? That's not happening. It's a Mario movie. Like, have you seen the stories in these games? You're not watching it for the story. You're looking for, to have some fun. Jack Black was awesome as Bowser. That paid off. That move paid off in spades with the song he did for the movie and that whole sequence in the movie. Um, yeah, if you're a Mario fan, go check it out. Your kids will love it. I loved it. My wife even loved it, and she's not like steeped into the lore of Mario. But there's just a lot of fun to be had in that one.
And what would you rate it out of 10?
Out of 10, I don't know, solid 8.5 just for fun.
There you go. There you go. Matt, how about you?
I did not see the Super Mario Brothers movie, so I don't know.
I meant what have you been playing or doing? Thank you. Hi, Danielle. Welcome to the stream. First time chatter. We're happy to have you here. Let us know how you found out us if you're a streamer and what kind of games you enjoy.
No, so it's been pretty flat. I've been stacking up games, unfortunately. So I'm still playing Near Replicant. I finally bred the white flower, so I was able to finish my first playthrough and have started the second playthrough.
I know nothing about Near Replicant, and so suddenly you're talking about breeding flowers, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, a game with flower breeding mechanics in it. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. I
I really love that in Plants vs Zombies too. It's I get it. No, I get it. It's like one of the last things I have to do in Animal Crossing is get this like, specific type of rose that's just not happening for me, so I'm like, whatever. I totally get the drive to do that. It gets nothing.
And the crazy thing is, too, like every guide I look up to see if there's anything you can do to increase your chances of this thing dropping, and it's like, there's nothing you can really do, but it should happen in your first 5, 4 or 5. I went through like 30 rounds before it finally dropped one. So that was, annoying. Anyway, so got through the first playthrough of that. Now I'm working on the second playthrough. It's like if you played Automata, how it has multiple endings. It doesn't have as many endings as Automata, thank heavens. But it's the same thing where the next playthrough is different than the first playthrough. Not as radically different because Near Automata gets really wild with the endings and the different playthroughs, but this one's a little more on, it's a much older game. It's a PS2 game. So
That was my question. So Replicant is a remake of the older one.
Yeah, near. Yeah, it depended. It was near replicant if in the U.S. and it was near. No, it was near replic. Yeah, it was near replicant in Asia. In the rest of the world, it was near Gestalt in the U.S. North America.
Gotcha.
It's over
And they actually did have a
9,000
difference where the main character was different. Where the main character in the no, Europe had Gestalt too, didn't it? Gestalt had the girl's father as the playable character as instead of the brother, which was the Japanese Asian version. And Replicant, you play the brother instead. So it's that dynamic, very anime-esque, older brother, younger sister type thing. So yeah, it's a remake of a PS2 game, which was a sequel to a weird ending of one of the Drakengard games, which so it's all Yakutaro being weird and living around with a moon on his head for no apparent reason. So
Were you talking about that Japanese developer?
yeah,
Yeah.
he's the
moon guy.
the moon guy,
Yeah.
Yokotaro, who did both Nier games and the Drakengard games. So I never said it's Drakengard or Drakengard. I flip flop.
No, I think it's Drakengard.
Yeah, I've never heard it the other way.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, so I've finished. So I'm still working on that. In the meantime, I had picked up the Resident Evil 4 remake because I've never played Resident Evil 4. So I started that, and I'm about a third of the way into that. And then Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores came out. So I thought, well, man, I'll try and burn through that quick because, that should be pretty short. And I'm still in the middle of that. And now today, Star Wars Jedi Survivor showed up at my door. So yeah, I'm stacking up games here pretty bad. I need to get a purge going here pretty quick, or I'm gonna be underwater.
Before you move on, and I forget, I just want to say I want to find out if anyone else is having this problem. Horizon Zero West keeps reinstalling itself on my PS5.
Reinstalling itself?
Yeah, so like every time I delete it, and then it when I run the updates, it automatically re-downloads it and then applies whatever the newest update is. And I'm like, stop! I don't want this on my drive, and it keeps reinstalling it.
Mine's disk-based, so
Yeah.
I'm definitely not having that problem.
All right. If let me know in the comments.
Yeah,
When
that's
you-
a weird one.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm enjoying all of them. What was that?
I was like, you didn't platinum me yet. You got to keep playing.
Yeah, Forbidden West isn't a bad platinum. That's pretty easy. But yeah, so I'm enjoying all of them. I haven't started Jedi Survivor yet, but all the other games I'm enjoying playing so far. But I need to finish something. Let's see, I'm watching Front. We're keeping up anime wise. We're keeping up on Demon Slayer. They don't go by seasons anymore. It's the Swordsmith Village arc. And then season 2 of Gundam, The Witch of Mercury, Hell's Paradise, and then Nier Automata, whenever it decides to be on, that thing keeps on taking extended breaks for COVID protocol. So yeah, that one's kind of creeping out every once in a while. It's kind of cool because it starts out pretty much exactly like the game, but then as it goes on, it has some like supplemental deviation kind of things in it, which, makes you wonder, okay, how does this fit in with the game? Is it completely separate from the game? Yeah, blah, blah, blah. So it's kind of fun to try to figure out what they're doing with that because, of course, it's all winky, naughty reference type stuff, just like they like to do. And then on regular TV front, we've been keeping up on The Rookie, which continues to just be The Rookie. As long as you don't expect anything more or anything less of it, you won't be disappointed. It's just kind of a fun little brainless show to watch. And then we finished Quantum Leap. So
Yeah, what'd you think? Now that
now that's all the way through. I do like the twist. I enjoyed what they did. It wasn't, I wouldn't say it's revolutionary, but
No.
but it was fun.
I thought it was satisfying.
Yeah, it was good. Does it have its place in my heart like the original series yet? No. It's good to know that it did do well enough to pull a season 2 like right out the gate. Like they, showed the trailer for season 2 at the end of the last episode. So, it's
Oh, thank God I
it's
didn't
already-
watch that.
so it's already, in the works. That was more of a sizzle reel than a trailer, to be honest. But um, so it's good to know that did do well enough that it's coming back. They've still got some things they could shore up, obviously. But yeah, I mean, it definitely drove hard into the whole serial narrative there at the end. Got out of the whole. I mean, it was still leap of the week because that's the mechanic, but it definitely was much more of a serial story, and the leap just happened to be something they were doing along the way to get to the next part of the serial story, which is the complete opposite of the original series. But yeah, overall it was fun. I'd say it's overall probably landed at about a 7 for the entire season. Now the beginning of the season, it's rough.
Oh, it's very rough.
It is
Yeah.
very rough. It's very rough. You gotta suffer through it, and I know a lot of people are not willing to do that, and I understand it. There's so many entertainment options out there. Why do that to yourself? But at the end, after that, after what I think was supposed to be the original start of the series, because they like tacked on that extra beginning,
Right.
So I think after they got past that part, which I still don't know why they tacked on, it flowed pretty well. It definitely was a marked improvement in everything, and that's probably some of the best acting I've seen from Brandon Routh in like forever.
That was a hell of an episode.
That was.
That is so just FYI, if you're not familiar with Quantum Leap, it's an episode of the week thing, and there's a through line for story, but at the same time they are technically self-contained, and they have different guest stars every week. Who was the other one that I really like? Was like, oh, and it wasn't Felicia Day. Who was it? It was somebody related. Now we're gonna have to go back.
Oh, you're thinking the oh, dang it. Yeah, she hosts a D&D podcast. It was the singer episode, right?
Yes.
Deborah Walling. Oh, what the heck is her name? Deborah Ann. She was the
the secretary in Daredevil. Yes.
I can't think of her last name.
Deborah Ann Wooling?
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yes, thank you. That's exactly who I was thinking of.
I was looking at, is that her? No, it's not her. Is it her? Is it? No, it is. Yeah, okay, it's her. I saw the name in the credit. Okay, yeah, that's her. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I agree. It was a really rough start, but honestly, only really kind of the first episode, to be honest.
The first episode was downright bad.
Well, I wouldn't say it was bad. It was rushed and cobbled together.
Yeah,
So
it was pretty not good. Let's go with that.
But from the second one on, it was actually pretty solid, and it got better as it went. Yeah,
and it hit that point where it was like all of a sudden, like there's a point where character personalities clearly shift.
Mm-hmm.
Like there is a point where they just, and from that point on, it's yep, there you go. It's good. And who knew Ian would end up becoming my favorite character in the show, right?
Can I say the ending was very last episode in Next Gen?
Yeah, totally.
I mean, I was like, wow, all right, I'm not going to complain that you ripped off my favorite ending of any show ever, but that, all right. So yeah.
You're going to borrow from the greats, right? So
what did you give it, a 7?
Yeah.
I'd say that's probably, I would actually go 7.5. I mean, it's got, yeah. I think by the end, the good outshined the bad, and it was pretty solid. And there were some really standout episodes. And I kind of like what they did with a couple of things that we would have never seen in the original episode. So original run. So I'm all right with 7.5. But 7.0 is not a bad score.
Yeah, like the last 4 episodes are easy 8s, right? I mean, so it's really kind of it's definitely stacked toward the end. It's definitely a little bit lackluster in the front, just because it doesn't make it clear how it's all fitting together, but it doesn't make it intriguing enough for you to care.
Mm.
And then, once it clicks, it's like, okay. But so we got that. Let's see. That's really been about it. It's been a lot of work and a lot of just running around and stuff for different things, but that's really about. Oh, I finished another Dresden book, so I've only got one more published Dresden book left to read before I've been finally caught up. So it's April. So that's 16 books, 16 Dresden Files books.
That's awesome.
And then there's the two short story anthologies I haven't read yet either, so probably nab those. But yeah, I'm caught up on a couple more comic books. I'm about ready to start the new Carnage series that started a few months back, so interested to see where that's going because there's going to be an event coming up related to that. So get caught up on that and see where that's going. Obviously, I don't think had Mandalorian season 3 finished last time we talked. I don't think it had.
Yeah.
I don't think it had. I don't think it had.
Yeah, that was
So, yeah.
that was a show we finished too.
Yeah, that was a good finish. I know season 3's gotten a lot of hate. I enjoyed it. I thought it was there were a couple of slightly weaker episodes, but nothing that threw me for too terrible of a loop. And it had some good cameos. Did you catch Dave Filoni in the last episode?
No, where was he?
At that bar scene.
Oh,
He's one of the people at the bar.
what?
I saw the hat and I'm like, no, yep, it is, because he's wearing his hat because it's that same hat he's always wearing.
I didn't even think to look for him in the bar scene.
I'm sure Favreau's in there somewhere too, but I didn't catch him. And again, another thing with Jack Black in it this season. So, but
people were hating that. Like, people were hating on that, and it's just like, what he was playing, a pompous, lazy, elite kind of person. Like, what's he supposed to do? Like, what? Okay.
I mean, there were other things about that episode to complain much more about than Jack Black. That's all I could say if you wanted to pick on something. But I mean, you had that fight at the end. I mean, that was a really good fight.
Why? Yeah.
People can't be happy.
No, I'm just convinced that's it. There's just something in the mindscape these days where you just can't be happy with anything. I'm supposed to be the grumpy person, and I'm the one out liking all this stuff out here. And
I don't know what's going on. You got to work on that.
I know.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I finally went back to Paramount Plus, and I'm like, I need to finish these Star Trek series that I haven't
need to
watched.
Start them.
And so I hovered over Discovery, immediately got angry, and then switched to Picard.
The show that's so bad that it actually makes you choose Picard over.
Yeah, that's exactly how much I don't like Discovery. So yeah, I plowed through season 2 and 3, and I just finished that like a couple days ago. Been watching a ton of YouTube, AEW Dynamite and Rampage, and really been enjoying, for the most part, the Dynamite stuff. I so-called the swerve at the end of this week's episode for the title at the pay-per-view. I called it like three weeks ago on stream, so that was good.
I mean, that was always going to be the main event. I don't know.
Right, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, so I don't think I've totally talked about this. I don't think I've talked about it with you guys. Maybe I did. I don't think I did. I'm going to the Dynamite and the pay-per-view.
Nice.
So it's
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
It's here. And I was like, I've been to a WWE show in the nosebleed seats, was not impressed, did not really enjoy it. Also, it was in a place where you could see humanity devolve by watching them come through the door. So that was bad. So I've wanted to go to AEW shows since its inception, but I said, when I had a job, that if I was going to do it, then I was going to actually fork the money out to actually be front row and do it. So did you know that there's actual groups, like Reddit groups, that actually farm for pre-release codes for buying tickets? I didn't, but I do now. And I managed to get one of those codes from one of those groups so that I could go for the pre-sale tickets, the early access tickets. And I went and I'm like, click on front row. Just guess how much the tickets are a piece.
1,200.
500.
$3,000 a piece.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm like, well, I'm not doing that because I'm out of work and I don't have that kind of money. And I had a little set aside. I didn't have that.
Crap.
That's for and Ken's coming in for this too. And I was like, do you want seats? He's like, yeah, I'll pay you back. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, well, I can't afford, $3,000 for a third seat as well. So anyways, so that was the pay-per-view. So I switched over to the Dynamite. I'm like, okay, I would be happy with front row seats, obviously for Dynamite, and because that's Dynamite, Rampage, and Dark, and whatever else they do. That's like going to be like 6 hours of wrestling. $2,000 a seat.
Oh, jeez, that's it. That's all the drop was.
Wow. And so now I'm sweating because these are timed. Like when you do this, it's a timed thing. You have your place in the queue. And your thing expires if you don't buy anything or if you refresh. So this is like super high stress situation kind of thing. And I remembered that they had a combo ticket for both shows. And I'm like, well, there's no way that that's going to be cheaper than, doing one show each. We're on the ramp like 4 or 5 rows from the ring for $250 a piece for both shows. I know, right? It makes no sense whatsoever. No sense whatsoever. I'm like, I can afford, I can't afford it, but at the same time, it's a, it's a bucket list. Yeah, it's a bucket list item, and like, okay, I'm not ringside, but I'm right next to the ramp where everybody walks in. I'm right in front of the announcers, and I'm really close to the ring. I can live with that, and so
the
yeah.
important thing is, do you have a shirt with my face on it?
I do.
You gotta wear it.
Do I, or do I wear my favorite wrestler shirt? Kenneth Omega.
Everybody's gonna be wearing a Kenny Omega shirt. You got to do this for me.
All right. I'll Dynamite. Yes. Pay-per-view. No.
Yeah.
Pay-per-view.
You wear
Frog billboard is a must. Tiny says yes. Broker Autonoma, welcome in. Hello there, friend. Happy to have you here. So yes. So anyways, that's the long and short of that.
But you have to do it because I need to see the look on Carrie's face when she sees my face randomly in the crowd.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I might have to watch that episode.
The quick long and the short of it is they announced their largest pay-per-view ever. Well, it's still unclear if it's a pay-per-view. It seems like it's a pay-per-view. It's called All In, and it's in Wembley Stadium in London. And there's 90,000 seats. For first time, they're more than likely not going to fill all 90,000 seats. But, if you cleared 40,000 as a business, that's probably a huge win. Their pre-sales are at 60,000, or their pre-sale, like, give me the codes and stuff, is at 60,000 already. So, now, they haven't gone on sale yet, so we don't have, like, what that conversion rate's going to be from interest to actual sales, but still, that's super good for them. So I'm excited about that. I'm not excited about CM Punk coming back. Screw that guy. He's a cancer, like a walking human cancer. And
I thought he was out for good. I don't want to get that started. Never mind.
Yeah, unfortunately not. And I think it's the biggest mistake the company's ever made. And Tony Khan should have a friggin' spine. That's all I got to say.
All I'm going to say is, at the end of the day, it's a business.
Yeah, and I get it. If it makes money for the business, great. But I give it, like, the guy's already shown up at WWE. Uninvited. I mean, it's like, what WTF are you doing? I give it, like, a week max before he becomes thin-skinned Phil again and goes off the rails. But I digress.
I have to hold out hope for some reason. Just because my wife likes him. I want it to go well because she likes the shirt.
I've also been watching Next Level Chef, which has gotten really good this season. It was good last season, but it's gotten really good this season.
I'm behind on that show.
I thought they were all out by now, but apparently not.
The The funny thing is, early on in the season, I was just like, what name did he say? And it was one of my favorite cornerbacks for the Philadelphia Eagles, Mark McMillan, was one of the people. And he's like this, like he was very much like maligned because he was short for a cornerback. I think he was only like 5'9", 5'10", or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, which they even mentioned like on there that like, the adversity he faced.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought that was so great that he was on there because I was like, actually, I think he's my height.
Yeah, they're down to the top 6 now, and we're all caught up. I wish I knew what days they came out, what day it comes out on, because I think it must be Thursday, but I'm not positive.
I have no idea. I just know it shows up on the DVR, and we watch them when we get to them.
And since we caught up on that, then we finally started Voice Season 24, which is Blake Shelton's last, and he uses it in every pitch to try and get people, and it's hilarious. And the other coaches are just rolling their eyes as soon as he starts talking, because every time it's like, this is my last season, the last ever Team Shelton. I'm like, dude.
Until he comes back for an anniversary episode.
Right, or something. Yeah.
Just to go back to the Gordon Ramsay thing quick, because that's who hosts Next Level Chef, right? Or at least he used to.
Yeah, he's one of those.
I don't know that I ever mentioned, but we actually broke down and bought a Hexclad pan. A Hexclad, which he shills for.
Uh-huh.
And they are bloody nice.
Are they?
They're very, very nice. It's a standard, was it 10-inch frying pan that we got? Yeah, that nothing sticks to it. I think you could pour super glue in there, and don't try this, please. Don't actually pour super glue in there. But it feels like you could pour super glue in there and it wouldn't stick. But
now, did you have to do like a seasoning process yourself, or is it just out of the box?
Out of the box, it's pretty amazing. They do have a seasoning process they want you to walk through, but it's already so good you can barely make the oil stick to it to do the curing process.
That's interesting.
So the only thing I found that's kind of frustrating about it is, for some things it's almost so slippery you can't effectively stir it, because you try to stir it and everything just slides. So that's like the only challenge I've had with it, is that actually slips too much.
Are you using a gas stove?
It's electric. That's what we.
So it's an electric slide.
Yeah, it is an electric slide.
I was gonna try and stop you.
Yeah.
Too late.
I knew where that was going, but yeah.
No, I was really curious about how they worked, because
Well, let's continue on.
What? No.
I played the Street Fighter V demo, which is sadly amazing, because I was not planning on buying it, because I don't trying to save money right now. But it's real good, and let me tell you, it is pretty much. I had an idea of a Mortal Kombat RPG a long time ago. This is it. I mean, and you're saying, well, there's no fatalities. That's true, but you walk around the city and you can literally fight anyone in the city. Pregnant mom? No problem. Mime? Have at. Food truck owner? Yep. Chef while they're cooking? Uh-huh. And they have different moves and different move sets, and you beat them up, and then you gain XP and you level up, and if you want to learn moves from Chun-Li, then you go enroll in her school and become one of her disciples and do her quest line, and then eventually she unlocks her moveset for you to add to your creative character. And you want to go learn from Ryu, then you can do the same thing there. And what's very interesting is the modern control scheme, which means, press 2 buttons and execute a 4-combo hit, including specials, which I don't get. I am a old school fighter. I like learning the moves to the characters and executing them, because that requires skill. But, I guess in this day and age, ain't nobody got time for that.
It's okay for people to have fun, dude.
Yeah,
sure.
No, and that's it, right? Like, from an accessibility standpoint, getting new players in, I completely get it. But why would you do that? I mean, I get it. It's the same reason, but I just feel like that takes the competitive side of it out because that's legal and competitive now. So you can have
they'll have a league where after the first year they'll have a league where it isn't. I guarantee they'll have a league where you have to do input.
Yeah, and they'll.
I don't know.
This is a non-issue.
I don't know. This is one of the few times that I feel like the old man on the hill yelling at the clouds that like it's justified because it's like I get it from an accessibility and getting people into the game, but it feels like there should be some kind of transition mechanic in the game now that rewards you more for actually doing the moves as opposed to using the modern control scheme. And I'm not saying don't have the modern control scheme. I'm saying after like 40 hours of you playing the modern control scheme, there should be a pop-up that says, "Hey, would you like to learn, your most used character is Ryu? Would you like to try learning and practicing the actual inputs, and you'll get, character cosmetic MacGuffin A for every one of these you do, etc." That type of thing. That's all.
So when's it come out?
It comes out on the 2nd of May. This is not.
What?
Yeah, it comes out like in 6 days, something like that.
That's gonna have to wait.
No. I'm sorry. June 2nd. It's coming out June 2nd. It's the same day Diablo 4 drops for those that bought the $100 version.
Ouch.
Yeah. And I have no idea what we're going to do for streaming because I've got both of them. Probably Diablo is the short form because my wife wants to play Diablo. So, yes.
That's an uphill climb for that.
So, yeah, we'll do that. And my biggest regret is that there's no multiplayer for this thing. Like, I would love to do co-op. There are 2-on-2 fights, and there's no co-op for it. You just have to use computer-controlled opponents. I think that's a miss. I think, being able to play with your friends in co-op and swap out and, handle these fights would be a lot of fun. But it is single-player.
Final game, there's no multiplayer?
No. In the RPG mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no multiplayer in the RPG mode. You can take your character and go into the world hub and fight other people, but there's no like co-op for the RPG mode.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I think that's a missed opportunity for them because I think they could have done that. So maybe in the next one, who knows? So the Street Fighter V demo, Diablo 4 beta, I don't think we talked about last time. Or did we? I don't think we did.
So. It's Street Fighter 6, isn't it?
It is Street Fighter 6. I keep doing that because I skipped 5. And so I keep constantly thinking it. And I own 5 now, but I've never played it. So I keep in my head, it's the next one. It's 5. No, 6. You're right. The Diablo 4 beta was great. I got to the max level. I played a ton of dungeons. Beat a world boss. There are a lot more mechanics for your character now. And it's gone back to the grim dark look and feel of Diablo 2, but obviously with better graphics. And this is the funny part. It ran perfectly smooth like butter on the PS5, and it ran like ass on the PCs, which is both sad and hilarious at the same time. Anyways, if you like the formula, I can't recommend Diablo 4 enough. I think it's going to be good fun. They're breaking everything into seasons, of course, but there's enough there that I did not fall asleep playing the game, not once. Which I love Diablo, but that's always been my problem. Is that my brain shuts off while I'm playing it and I fall asleep. I did not fall asleep the entire time I played Diablo 4. So that's a good omen for me.
That's great. We should get that on the box.
Yeah, 100%.
Fall asleep.
I didn't fall asleep. 9 out of 10 Gamersledge. Chained Echoes, still continuing the playthrough of this masterful RPG that brings JRPGs into like the today times. I can't recommend this thing enough. I'm literally, I think, 35 hours into it now, and I shouldn't give it a number because I'm not finished with it, but I overall, like, it's constantly challenging me, and the characters are fantastically written. The game is, the combat is tactical, and you have to think about it. I would almost say, for real, it's a 10 already. It's nuts how much I am enjoying it and how well programmed and well written it is. I really, really like it a lot. And anybody that likes JRPGs, I can't recommend it enough. It is not a full price game. It's like $25. So I can't recommend it enough. And it is on both console and PC. All consoles and PC. So really, I can't recommend enough you checking it out. Ken and I were bored before the game I'm about to talk about came out. So we, on a Saturday, we downloaded a game called The Last Oricru, which I had never heard of. It's on consoles and PC, and it is a Souls-light kind of game. Full 3D. Graphics are about like PlayStation 2, but the storyline is basically, the storyline is that you are the captain of a crashed starship on another planet, but you don't remember any of that. But it's so dumb that you don't remember any of that because it's glaringly obvious because you're a human and everybody else is not. And anyways, you've been enslaved by the not humans, and they're training you, and you are for some reason now immortal. And it turns out that after the ship crashed, you find out breadcrumbs of the story as you continue on. After the ship crashed, you modified your crew's belts so that they won't be able to be taken off, and as long as you have them on, you're immortal. And so, anyways, there's a war between rats and these cat people, basically, and you have to get in the middle of it and try and figure out what's going on and restore your memories.
You never get in the middle of rats and cats.
Yeah, I know, right? It's horrible.
Yeah.
Anyways, the game is not bad. The story is pretty good. The combat's a little clunky. It's a little paper, like everything feels like paper. There's no weight to the combat. But at the same time, it does have co-op mode, but at the same time, it's buggy. And so the co-op player shares your inventory and can equip your stuff, but then when they leave, you don't get your stuff back. Now, to be fair, once I restarted the game, I got all my stuff back. It took a couple restarts to get all of it back, but still, I was able to get it. So it's a little buggy, but at the same time, it was fun. We had fun playing it. Like, I'd give it a 6.5, 7 out of 10. It's not a full price game. Again, it was like, I think $20 on PlayStation, and it's $20 on PC. So it's not like it's a huge investment, but it was a fun little thing. I'm actually interested to see where the story goes. So that we'll play that again on stream at some point. I also accidentally bought Goat Simulator 3 because I had apparently added it to the cart and didn't realize it on a previous, like, 3 or 4 weeks whenever Goat Simulator came out. I apparently added it as I'm waffling on whether or not I want to buy this, and I ultimately decided no, and I apparently didn't clear my cart. So Goat Simulator 3 is 4-player co-op. The opening movie is you in a farmer's cart, and he even refers to it as a Skyrim cart as they start spouting Skyrim dialogue, which is hilarious. So anyways, yes, I am very much looking forward to playing this with some other people. I have it. It's stupid, dumb fun if you've never played Goat Simulator. It's a physics simulation with goats where the goats are trying to destroy as much stuff as humanly possible. I have not milked the goat yet. No. And Actually, I need to give him to the top of the wizard's tower so he can have magic powers. But I digress. The game that we've been playing all week this week has been Honkai Star Rail. This is made by the folks that made Genshin Impact. I expected it to be another multiplayer ARPG with very pretty graphics, cel-shaded. It is a game that is very pretty graphics, cel-shaded, has a good story. It's actually been a lot of fun, but it is a single-player JRPG, which I was not expecting. It has its own proprietary combat system that is actually pretty interesting and innovative, and it keeps you constantly thinking strategically about how you use allocate your resources. I'm really, really enjoying it, like way more than I ever did Genshin, which is surprising. Because I played Genshin up to like level 20 or whatever. I will say this is a gacha game, but it is free to play, so you can grind out a bunch of stuff. They actually are giving people like enough to get 20 pulls off of the beginner banner, and if you don't get anything by the end of like 50 pulls off the beginner banner, they pity you a 5-star character. So that's not horrible. And you can actually earn what you need to get the last 30 in game, so you don't have to drop any money on the game whatsoever, and you can start with a 5-star character. So that's not bad. You played Genshin in level 90? Yeah. So I'm level 40 right now in Honkai Star Rail, and it's only been out for 4 days. I keep hitting the bottleneck is you have an account level, and you have to keep doing missions and quests to raise the account level. They kind of bottleneck the story progression through the account level. And so I gotta get, I think, 2 more levels before I can do the next story mission. But so far, like I said, the music is fantastic. The graphics are phenomenal. The characters are super interesting and well designed, and it is completely free to play. So you do not have to spend any money on it whatsoever. Obviously, if you spend money, then you're going to be able to get stuff a little faster. But I'm not advocating that. It's been out. It came out Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Came out Tuesday at 7 p.m. I think I logged 8 hours that first day because I stayed up late. I think I logged 6 hours the second day. I logged 6 hours yesterday, and I played 3 hours today. So what is that? 6 and 6 is 12, and 8 is 20. So about 23 hours in right now. I'm really enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. Played Fortnite. The season lasts till like June, so that's great because I've not been tearing through this one. Dungeons and Dragons on Mondays. Escape from Tarkov we did a couple weeks ago. Dark and Darker Alpha Playtest 5 happened between the last time we talked and now. If you're not familiar with Dark and Darker, it is basically Dungeons and Dragons first person meets Escape from Tarkov. And it is a great game. I can't recommend it enough. However, it's currently undergoing a legal battle because there is a larger company that the lead developer used to work for that is suing them for stolen assets and properties, etc. Did you just realize that's this game?
No, I'm trying to be supportive of you.
No, it's fine. It's I'm actually, it's a case where it sure seems like a large company is suing a little company because they had a more popular, better idea than the big company had, and they're trying to sue them out of existence. Iron Mace has already shown that like the 2,000 different assets that they were claiming were stolen are Unreal Marketplace assets that anyone can buy. So I'm not like super worried about the lawsuit side of things. It's just the big company submitted a DMCA takedown on Steam, which means that they couldn't distribute their playtest via stream. So that didn't stop them. The day before they had said that they were going to do the playtest, they released it on torrent. And so you had to torrent the updates, unfortunately, too, whenever they release an update. But the playtest went through. I don't know how many people went. But then the playtest servers got DDoS'd almost the entire time that the playtest was up.
Shady.
Oh, it was really shady. Yes, very. So anyways, we still played like most of the entire playtest. We were in there, and they did like add a new map and a new class. They introduced Bard, which was cool because it gave you magic, but was not cool because it was somebody plucking a loot to where everyone can hear where you are. So that's kind of interesting balance of what you wanted to accomplish there. But it was good, but it was a pretty rough playtest because of all the interruptions and problems and everything. So they apologized, said they'd figure out something else in the meantime. But theoretically, the DMCA takedown should be rescinded here shortly, since there's been no evidence provided by Nexon. Nexon, by the way, is the company that made MapleStory. So if you like MapleStory, I'm sorry, that company sucks. We also played for the first time on stream last week, Placid Plastic Duck Simulator. It is, if you buy all the DLC, the entire total cost of the game is $6. If you don't buy all the DLC, it's $1.99. And I don't know how to explain the game other than to say it is ducks that fall into a series of pools over time. And that's about it. And they're different themed ducks. So you might have a stone duck or fire-breathing Godzilla duck. Or you could have a firefighter duck that squirts water. Or you could have a ghost duck that you can't see. Or it can be just a normal rubber ducky. Or it could be a wooden duck that gets set on fire by the Godzilla duck. And what's kind of crazy is it's like a very chill experience, but like stories evolve from just watching the ducks, if that makes sense. Float in these pools. Anyways, it was big fun, and we have a redeem on the channel now to name a duck. So that's a, like, if I was going to review Placid Plastic Duck Simulator, I'd probably give it a 8 out of 10. It's really good.
This sounds like Dave, you and Dave got your wires crossed.
I know, right? I even
know.
said that this is not what we normally play on stream or do, but it was a lot of fun, and everybody had.
I was trying to say you're out weirding games, with me. Like, it was actually kind of funny, and I can't even remember the name of the game. So my son comes up to me and he was just like, I want to get this game, and I'm like, what game? And he mentions the name of it, and I had no idea what he was talking about. And so I'm always, I'm still thinking he's like 3 and not pronouncing things correctly, but he's almost 8 and he speaks better English than I do. So like, I'm like, okay. And he's like, save the game. I was like, well, what's it about? And he starts describing the game, and I'm like, this sounds insane. Like, what YouTube hell did you find this from?
Did you ask him if there was a crank involved?
Kind of related. So he turns around and finally gives me enough information. Oh, Watan, that's what it is. So I look up the game, and it's available on the PlayStation, and it's actually made by the people who made Katamari.
Oh, you mean Watam?
Watam.
Watam. Yeah, I know exactly what game you're talking about. It is insane.
And then I was just like, oh, okay, I remember this. I'm on board. We can get this. And he was just like, he's using his own money, to buy games, because we're trying to stress, because he got a little too used to just downloading games, so nothing was real. And so now I'm trying to teach him, let's go look in the PlayStation free bin that we have access to.
Mm-hmm.
And but so he wanted this Watam game, and I was just like, man, it's in the DNA. This kid is going for the weird stuff unprovoked. I'm worried about him, just being a shooter bro or something like that, and just wanting to get into that stuff. But no, man, he's gone all in, and he's doing it himself.
Yeah, wait till he gets to his rebellious teenage years, then we'll see what he does.
Yeah, and he's just gonna
Dad, I'm downloading Call of Duty.
I'm only playing 8-bit Atari games. I'm like, all right, you do you, bud. New stuff out there.
I also last Tuesday we did Hunt Showdown for the first time. And if you're not familiar with the Hunt Showdown, it is kind of a BR. I think it was pitched to me as a battle royale.
Oh, okay. I don't care.
But it's not really. I mean, yes, there are other players, but there's no like circle that closes that makes you go a certain way. The game just naturally funnels everybody in the same direction, based on the objectives that you do. But all of the characters that the players play are based on like the boogeyman or weird things that happened in the Wild West, I guess is the best way to say that. It's actually got a lot of lore and charm to it, and it's very, very interesting. I'm not sure what I make of it yet. We're going to play some more next Tuesday. I was the only person to extract with the MacGuffin, so that was good. But yeah, still early out on that one, but it was fun. Come check it out next Tuesday. We'll do more of it. Also, I played Learn Japanese to Survive Hiragana Battle. And it's not great, sadly. It was like $4 or something. And I'm like, oh, you know, it would be cool if there's a really fun game to teach people hiragana. And it's like the framework of the game is good, but the UI is so clunky it gets in the way every time. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend it.
Can't move away from my Duolingo yet.
Yeah, not yet. And that stupid other game won't come out ever. The one that's coming out on the Nintendo Switch and PC. It's where you take the pictures, where it tells you the word and you got to go find it in the virtual 3D space.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so like it's going to be so good if they ever freaking release it, but they haven't yet. So there you go. That's what I've been playing and watching for the last 2 weeks.
Holy cow. Again, time compression. Jeez
I know.
Louise.
Well, I mean, I'm still searching for jobs. Trust me. Multiple hours a day because I need a job.
Yeah.
You take advantage of that, though, because that's just
yeah, but you know, see, this is what the people never think about. Is great. You've got all the time, but then you're stressing out all that time that you now have. It's
Dude, I was there. Remember when I was there?
No, I know. And
it's just like it sucks.
And it's not helping that every company under the sun continues to lay hundreds of people or thousands of people off per week. So it's a little stressful, but at the same time, that's what I have streaming for, because hanging out with y'all makes me feel better.
Right. Did I ever show my Retroid Pocket 3 Plus?
Like 17 times, yeah.
Oh, did I? I just love it.
Had no idea.
Nah.
Do we have any news?
Yes.
News.
We have all kinds of weird stuff. One thing I wanted to bring up, I think is hilarious, is so EA put out a statement about Star Wars Last Survivor. Apparently people are complaining about performance on the PC.
Yes, I did see that.
And their statement is hilarious. Their statement's basically like, yo, your config sucks, but, you know, we're going to try and work around it. They're like victim blaming, and it's amazing. But like one of the things is just like, you know, people get these like high-end graphics cards, you know, but they got like weak processors. So like, what are we supposed to do about that? And it's just like, I don't know, be developers, but they know that that's what your audience is running stuff on. I don't know. So, you know, I'm sure they're going to optimize it, but it's, God, I just love snotty backhanded statements like that. It's just funny.
Oh, that reminds me, Dave.
Yes.
Speaking of weird games.
Yes.
Did you see that there is a new Sherlock Holmes meets Cthulhu game?
What?
Yes. And it is literally a branded Sherlock Holmes game.
Really?
Really?
Well, is it? I mean, he's open source now, right? Is that the right term?
Public domain.
Public domain. Thank you.
I don't know, but I think this is by the same company that made the other Sherlock Holmes games.
Oh wow.
So I thought I should recommend or, mention that to you because I saw it and I'm like, wow, that's an odd pairing. Daniel might actually play a video game for once.
He's
I'll have to
been
look
playing a
into
lot
it.
of video games, at least for him recently.
Yeah, but he still complains about it.
He's never going to not complain about
Yeah,
it.
I know that.
I have my next game queued up for the Analog Pocket. When I was in the basement, I found my Mario Golf Advance, the one by Camelot. I'm so in the mood to play that. So I'm excited for that.
I have been
I played
seeing.
that. I played that Sports Story game. Remember Golf Story? Came out a while
Oh,
ago.
yeah, the Golf RPG or something like that,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Yeah.
So they made a Sports Story game, which it just isn't as good as the Golf Story game. So it kind of made me like, in a mood for like a golf RPG because, that's a subgenre that does not get enough attention. So it's so I dug out the Mario Golf one because that is one of the most amazing games I've ever played that everybody should play. That's just so much inexplicable fun because it just makes sense when you're playing it. It's just like this is good and it probably shouldn't be, but it is, and everything is just perfect and great. So I can't wait to revisit that. I'm very excited, especially on the Analog Pocket because it's such great hardware. Um, but that's enough. I'll just and drink my horrible drink. Don't ever do this. This one sucked.
Thank you, Ken. I got the message. I hope you feel better, dude.
What was that? Shut Dave up. Was that his message?
No.
Oh, okay. It should have been.
And quick things: Honkai Star Rail, 20 million downloads day one.
Who?
It actually has surpassed Genshin Impact day one numbers. So
Wow.
And that's with it's on
Epic.
PC.
It's on Epic. It's you can download it for Windows directly from their website, and it's also on iPhone and Android.
Right. Yeah.
It is coming to
the
consoles.
console version.
It is coming to consoles, I believe, in June is what they said. Something like that.
I got another bit of news.
Okay.
Remember Twisted Metal?
You know Samoa Joe is Sweet Tooth, right?
Dude, stepping all over my nose.
Well, we talked about that when they announced it like 12 months ago, 8 months ago.
God, I forgot about everything.
We literally talked about this.
No, we did, but I had completely forgot about it till this trailer
I
popped.
totally forgot about it, and like it popped back up with the trailer, and I had this conversation with other people about like saying like, wait, did we know about this? And apparently everybody did, and I forgot about it. So whatever, I forgot about it. But the thing is, there's actually a trailer out for it now. And wow, it looks terrible.
Yeah, I was wondering. I haven't watched the trailer yet.
And also Joe's not doing his own voice. Like, why wouldn't you have Joe talk?
No,
Like Joe's good at talking.
you would think so. He's just the body double, basically, for Sweet Tooth. Or, I don't know. Is that the right word? What do you say that? He's the body actor.
He's the Muppet.
Yeah.
He's the Muppet.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the Prowls.
David, yes. I
No?
got you. Yeah. David Prowse. Yeah. Darth Vader. Yeah. I got you.
He's a jerk. What? He's just like this entitled dude who like thinks he's way more like a buddy of mine was working security at like some con and he was just like David Prowse, his lawyer, he gets his lawyer to go talk to people and he's like, David Prowse would like to use the bathroom. And my buddy was like, okay, it's over there. Like David Prowse would like you to escort him to the bathroom. And he's just like, he's bigger than me. He can handle himself. Like it's just like dude, nobody cares.
So,
But
what was I going to? Did you see the announcement of Matt of the PS Plus games for this month?
Yeah, I did. There was a mountain biking game. Oh gosh, I forgot what they are already. But there was two sportsy type ish games, and then another one.
That's all right. While you look it up, Star Trek Resurgence, which is the first game in quite a while, which is actually being made by the by Telltale developers, has been pushed, but we didn't know because it was just been TBA for a while. They are going to finally launch it in May, May 23rd, 2023. So it's being billed as a interactive narrative adventure game. So pretty much like the old Telltale games. So I will be buying that.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm interested in that. I'm that format and that franchise together.
It seems like it seems like it should be good. And apparently they've done a lot of work to the engine to let it do stuff that it never did before.
Yeah. I know I saw they released the new.
Sorry, May of 2023, not May 23rd. The final release date is still yet TBA.
I know they released another oh shoot, what was the not Badlands, Borderlands one, but I watched the trailer and it didn't speak to me, so I didn't try it out. So I haven't tried any of their newer fare, but yeah, we'll have to see. One thing that came out the last couple of days that totally caught me off guard, because it seems like they just announced this like 5 minutes ago, but Armored Core 6 is coming out this August.
Yeah.
That came out alongside a 3-minute trailer that I still have yet to watch, because it's a 3-minute trailer, and every time I remember it's out there, I don't have 3 minutes to watch a dang trailer. So yeah, I was not expecting that was not dropped that long ago. I was not expecting the game to come out that quickly. So they kept that thing a secret for a good long time. So I'm hoping it kind of harkens back to Armored Core 1 and 2, 3 era, because I didn't really like the 4 or 5 era. So hopefully it goes back to the 1, 2, 3.
I'm interested to see what it is. That's for sure.
Hopefully it's not just Dark Souls with mechs, because that would be disappointing.
I don't think it would be. We'll see.
Don't think it would be disappointing, or don't think it would be.
I don't think it would be Dark Souls with mechs.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know why they would, but other than Dark Souls is like all they do now. But and the PlayStation games are Grid Legends, Chivalry 2, and Descenders. So Descenders is the mountain biking game. Grid Legends is a car racing game, and Chivalry 2 is Chivalry 2. I don't even know how you describe it. So medieval combat.
Oh, Chivalry, yeah, it's medieval combat.
I mean, yeah. I was just trying to think of how to say it, but yeah.
So, it's not news, but I forgot to talk about it before, but I think it's interesting. Apparently, Square Enix has an entire genre of fantasy games that are based on cards. So my wife was wanting to find a new game, and she started tooling around on Steam, and she was like, I think her search was like tarot. She wanted to find a card game of some type, and she came across. She's like trying to explain this to me, and she's like, "Yeah, it's by some company I've never heard called Square Enix or something like that." I'm like, "What? Square Enix?" I'm like, she's like, "Yeah, I think that's it." Anyways, I still to this day don't know what the name of the game is. She bought all 3 of them for $60, but it's made by one of the big JRPG guys at Square Enix, and I can't think of who it is off the top. Oh, the voice of the cards.
Yeah, I'm remembering something about this now.
And I was like, how is there a Square Enix game or series I've never heard of?
Yeah, it was kind of, I don't want to say it was like shadow launch, but it was really, really, really low key.
So she's playing through the Isle Dragon Roars, which is the first one. There's 3 of them, and I'm trying to Forsaken Maiden, and there's a third one, and I don't remember. Voice of the Cards trilogy. And it's on phone also, like iOS and Android, as well as Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, and Steam. Oh yeah, it's the guy who did Nier.
Yeah, Yoko Taro. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Yoko Taro.
I knew it was something. I knew I should have known who it was, but yeah, it's Yoko Taro. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but there's three different. There's the Isle Dragon Roars, the Forsaken Maiden, and the Beasts of Burden. And she's on the first one, which is the Isle Dragon Roars, and she absolutely loves it. I've only had to help her with the idea of passive abilities because she's never experienced that in a game before. Because she was like, I assigned this card, yet it never comes up during combat, and I had to read the card, and I'm like, oh, that's because it's always on. It just happens in the background. You'll never see the card. But she's absolutely loved it, and I was like, I figured if I hadn't heard of it, probably you guys hadn't heard of it. So there you go. An entire game based off of cards and card combat.
Yeah.
But it's fully narrated. She absolutely loves it. She played for I think 4 hours today, which is one of the longest stints she's ever done on a game. So
yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. So anyways, that's not news, but if you enjoy Yoko Taro stuff and you're looking for something to play, maybe you didn't know about this, and there you go.
Yeah. I did know about the first one, and I didn't realize it had sequels, and I'd completely forgotten about it. So something that I saw pop on my feed today that I had no idea was a thing. Obviously, most of us probably know that there's the Rise of the Beast Transformers movie that's coming up soon, featuring characters that are taken from the Beast Wars TV series. But what I did not know is there's an upcoming reboot of the animated an animated series called, well, it's a movie. I don't know.
Yeah, it's their first. They're calling it their first animated movie. I'm like, did you guys forget that you had one in the 1980s?
But called Transformers 1, and they announced their key voice cast. Results may vary. There's a couple I'm really cool with. There's a couple I'm kind of more on, but we'll see. I mean, the results. I mean, everybody thought, Chris Pratt was going to make a terrible Mario too. So we'll figure it out. But I still can't get my brain around Chris Hemsworth as Optimus Prime. I cannot do it.
I mean, he's going to be heavily voice modded anyways, so.
Yeah. And
as long as he's not going, Transformers, roll out, mate. It'll be fine.
If he ends up being some kind of Kiwi Aussie Prime, it'll be really weird. But I'm also a little.
Wow. I'm just going to point out that you just did a triple. Because you said, A, don't like Chris Hemsworth as Optimus Prime. Then you said a Kiwi something, which are they hate each other.
I know.
And you totally. I'm just like, if you were rapping right now, you would have gotten a triple for that.
Yeah. The other thing, it has me a little worried about the tone of the movie because casting Key as Bumblebee. That gives me a little bit of concern about what the tone of the movie is going to be, but we'll see. If it's going to be goofy stuff the entire time, that would be disappointing. I don't mind some goofy, but it can be too much. The rest of the cast, though, it doesn't. Lawrence Fishburne as Alpha Trion is perfect, though. That's perfect casting for that. So, but yeah. Anyway. That was just something that I had no idea that was going on. Right?
I never heard of that one either. I saw news of that today too, and I was just like, "Where did that come from?"
Paramount Animation, apparently.
I'll watch it.
So yeah, I'm assuming it's a theater release, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a theater release,
and that's why I was really double shaking my head. I'm like, 80s.
Yeah.
Transformers movie. Was very successful for you?
maybe it's because it's Paramount. I don't know what studio did the original movie. It probably wasn't Paramount.
Traumatized children everywhere by killing off all the people they thought they were going to see and love.
No, did not traumatize me. I was fine with it because Optimus was overly, too following the rules. And I was like, Optimus, they're cheating all the time. And you're just going like, okay, we lost. No, you didn't. They cheated. But I was really just mad at all that. I was Team Rodimus all the way.
Wow, I was never Team Rodimus.
No, of all the characters from Gen 2, Rodimus never landed for me. But
I'll be honest, I also rooted against Hulk Hogan every single time.
I mean, I was rooting for Zeus, but it didn't happen.
I knew that one wasn't going to happen, but Bundy, Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff, Big John Studd, everybody, I was always rooting for them to be the one to finally put him down, and it just wasn't happening.
What other news do we have?
The UK blocked the Microsoft Actiblizzard merger.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see what happens with that.
They just
I'm assuming it's just a stall thing. It'll end up going through, but I don't.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be some kind of donation somewhere that makes that go through. I mean, I get it, but it's happening. They just want to bring Bullfrog back. They're still mad. Oh wait, that was EA. My fault.
I don't think there's anything that I've seen else.
Not been a real poppin' news cycle.
I know I wanted to remind people that Guardians of the Galaxy is next week, but there was something about Guardians.
Well, there's a new comic that just launched out last week. That was started off pretty good. And yeah, by the way, we misspoke earlier. The Guardians is this weekend, and Tears of the Kingdom is the Friday after. So that's the 12th.
Wait, what do you mean Guardians is this weekend?
The week from today.
The 5th.
This coming weekend.
Thursday.
Yeah, remember we were
officially the 5th. Its launch date is the 5th, but they start showing movies on Tuesday, so whatever.
Yeah. Well, Thursday here, but yeah, that's when my tickets are for Thursday. I did not want to pass this up. This may be a way that we actually get Dave to play again. There was a leak that there is a Lego crossover in the works with Fortnite.
Damn it.
Well, they've already got the building mechanics, so.
Yep.
I don't need to hear that. Here's about that racing game they're doing.
What, the Lego racing?
Yeah, did you see the new one? Did you see the trailer for it? It's like Lego 2K Racing or something like that. But it looks like it looks a lot. Like you can really customize your car and everything like that. There's all kinds of stuff into it. And it looks really slick, in the trailers. So I'm kind of I'm curious. Look, something like that could be fun because it seems kind of it almost seems like Burnout Paradise-ish with the Lego spin on it, which is that kind of works for me.
Oh, I know what I wanted to. Oh, I know what it was. So I don't know if you guys saw the TikTok that was circulating around the last couple of weeks about the game dev that plugged ChatGPT into his NPCs.
No.
Boy.
And it works really well. He's got a text-to-speech thing. And so literally, the character can move its head. It can make eye contact. It can look into the setting sun on the horizon during golden hour and it can pontificate. It's
Nice.
kind of nuts. And people, I guess, have modded Skyrim now so that the NPCs use Chat GPT to remember their conversations with you, and they can have like a fully fleshed out. It's kind of nuts. I'm interested to see where this goes in terms of, AI making it so that you just don't hear the same thing over and over from NPCs.
That'd be interesting. I mean, that's a cool thing because, that is one of those things where it's just like, it's been a long time since I've seen you. How's it doing? For the 4,000th time, it's like, okay, you're never going to say anything new. Okay, fine.
Also, just as an FYI to Torment Dave, the annual Devolver Digital Publisher Weekend is live on Steam this weekend, starting now.
Oh,
Up to 90% off all their games.
oof.
Wow.
I've actually been slowly putting together a weird sort of library for eventually. I know, my son's probably going to want a gaming PC. And apparently, like Amazon, Twitch Prime, whatever, there's like free games every week.
Oh yeah, every month you get a ton of free games, and then if depending what games you play, they actually throw DLC into it.
Yeah. So I'm just like loading up those like as we go along, and eventually he's just going to have this massive collection of stuff to go through.
And if you have a Epic Store account, there's 1 to 2 free games every week.
Yeah.
Oh wow, they do it too.
Oh yeah.
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 And then when it's like a thing, they'll do like 1 a day. Whenever they've got like a thing going on. But yeah, it's 1 to 2 games every week. I've got hundreds of games on the Epic Store that I'll probably never play.
Oh, did you see that Anakin Skywalker is coming to Fortnite?
I did not see that. No.
Yes. It's the Marry Me Anakin.
The what?
The Marry Me Anakin. The one from, like, he's the age when he marries Padme.
Oh,
Oh.
so like Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones. Is it? No, I don't know. I mean, you're asking the wrong person, to be honest. But it's when he was turning into a douchebag, but not yet a full-on douchebag. Anakin. I just thought Marry Me Anakin sounded better.
Okay, no, that looks like Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. He's got the long hair.
Oh, excuse me.
Skin featured
How could I
is the
make such...
Revenge- The skin featured is the Revenge of the Sith version of Anakin Skywalker. Thank you very much. Good night.
Listen, all I saw was Star Wars Anakin Skywalker is coming to Fortnite. That's what I saw. So I thought I was doing a good PSA by telling you.
No, I appreciate it. Yep. No, that is. I was thinking maybe they would do the Clone Wars, like the animated show version, but no, that's the third movie.
Okay.
Third movie.
This Polygon writer deserves a raise. Anna Diaz, yeah, I've seen a lot of her stuff. She says now not only can Darth Vader won't just be able to shoot and kill Anakin, he'll be able to also hit the gritty on his alter ego's limping body on the battlefield.
Oh, brother.
Meanwhile, Star Trek just has the freaking Vulcan salute. We still don't have any skins. What the hell? Get it together, Epic.
Because Paramount doesn't want to let you kill any of their characters.
Probably true. I mean, Spock.
But they brought him back like immediately.
Well, he'll respawn in 22 minutes on the next cycle of the loop.
Lower Decks, though, yeah, that's a good call. You can get the Lower Decks characters in there. Nobody cares about them.
That's true. And put Burnham in there. Same boat.
Mark will play just hunt down the Burnham.
Hunt the Michael Burnhams on every map. That's how I will play the game from that point forward. Wow.
Oh boy.
All right, I think we're running out of steam and stuff here. That's going to bring us then to the point of the show where we like to thank all of the producers of the show directly, so let me pull that up real quick. First of all, a giant shout out to our bossest of boss producers, which I did mention Shank the New, Mr. J Nice, and Neo Sapien before, but we'll read the rest of them off here in a second. bit.ly/mechanicsgl is how you can support the stream. You get your name on every single show we do as a producer for as little as $5 a month. Our boss producers from Mechanics, Twitch, Patreon, YouTube. First, thank you to Mr. J Nice ×2, Axe Thompson, Gnomish Lee, Lexi, Shank the New, Mark Steadmom, Tim Paget, Dragadan, Twisted Ginger 25, Wolfsgun, Nafayam Official, Kokeshi Ken Media, Lost Harlequin, Official Eggroll TV, and 8-Bit and Chill, as well as a giant thank you to all of our Twitch, Kick, YouTube, Facebook, Mechanics, and Patreon producers, DMS Creations, Peter Cajero, Billy Frog, Dance Commander Ramy Becker, Arturo Gonzalez, Bushman, Inuyu Wolf, Jimmy Julius, Mark Johnson, Eric the Amazing, Luna, John O'Callahan, Jun Kuribayashi, John Hewlett, 2 times Academy Award nominee Patrick Tubach, Letty the Yeti, USMG Valfrel. Did I tell you that Pat is now working for Epic?
Epic.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
did tell you. Okay.
Yeah, we knew that about that. Yeah.
Tracy Fuller, Dave Butler, Michael Sims, Mark Huey, Nick Nevels, Kevin Rollins, that kid named D, ID Nippleduck, Dark Razored, as well as Trial Access, Rushmonk 2, Bearden, The Bakery Crew Ken, Strong Bad Merc, Ghost Zero. Oh, no, too far. Go back a little bit. There we go. Scotty's on Fiery, Rusty Haggis, No Novocaine, Dave 934, Jimmy Julius, TJ LeClaire, Meep the Bunny, The Shaky Dragon, Family Bloom, Mafia 6869, Hey Matman, Slowbake, AK Yuri, Bourgeois, Jag Leisure, Sleep Deprived, DMDM Studios, Habitual Kiwi, Big Rosa, You Are CEO, Chocobo Butt, The Golden Hash Brown, Strawbee, Sir Ironblood, as well as Jersey the King, Luigi Woodcat House, Band Reaper 97, Kato.jpg, Siuni.ttv, Nautico Love 123, Bosch 721, The Tunics, Awesome Jen, Prophet Profanity, Evelyn 03, Habitual Kiwi, Chupa Thingy 7163, G Boys, Ninja Jinja 07, Every Other Adventurer, Forever Sammy, and Nacho Wench. Thank you all for your support. That's going to bring us then to final thoughts. Dave, final thought of the evening.
My final thought of the evening is just get ready for Zelda. That's going to be the game that just like swallows my soul for months, just like the last one did. Getting a little, excited for it after seeing some of the new videos with like the, building mechanics and everything like that. And it's just like you just get to tinker in the world and explore and everything like that. And I got a bad feeling I'm going to get lost for a while in that game.
Matt?
So some of you may know there's a side TikTok account called Legendary Gamersledge. It's been silent for a while. That we've kind of been doing some other stuff on over there. Well, when we do it, I've been on break for a while, but we also just stood up a Legendary Gamersledge Twitch channel. Right now, so far, it's been Mitchell playing the latest Theat Rhythm Final Fantasy,
which every single one of those on YouTube gets blocked.
Just blasted, I suppose. Yeah. So it's going to be more single player game focused. Some little more. I was going to say more niche stuff, but now you've got Plastic Duck Rebellion 9000 over on the main channel, so I don't know anymore what's going on. But so that's another thing to keep an eye out. We don't have a broadcasting schedule as of yet. It's kind of as available. And it'll
pop up on the Gamersledge site if we're not on.
Yeah, thank you. And then just as kind of a side note, just if anybody has some happy thoughts to think, Mitchell is participating in his first Smash Brothers tournament tomorrow.
Nice.
So if you're thinking happy thoughts for both him and Keegan, will actually be in it. It's hosted at Keegan's University. So he's actually part of the inaugural team. They've actually got an official licensed like tournament team.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
For the college.
He's
So,
officially an esportser.
He is officially an esportser. So yeah, I don't know if they're going to be broadcasting it anywhere. I should find that out and throw it on the socials if they are going to be broadcasting. But I'll find that out from them. But yeah, otherwise that's my thoughts.
My final thoughts: May 6th at 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 Central, 8 Eastern, midnight GMT. It is the Mechanics GG Community Cup. It is our third entry. The first time we played, we got first. The second time we played, we got second. We are not following. No, we are not following that logic. We're going back to first. This time it's Rocket League. So yeah. So I'm super excited about that. What a fun game that is. Most of the other participants have never played Rocket League. But yes, it should be good. I'm very much looking forward to it. So join us for that. That will not be on our channel. That will be on the Mechanics GG channel. It's twitch.tv/mechanicsgg. And that's going to close out this season of Community Cups, I believe. And then we're going to launch another season in the fall or late summer. I'm not sure how that works exactly. But nonetheless, it should be a heck of a good time. Come and join us. Always very much fun. And we had a ton of people show up for the last one. So come check us out there. And that's going to bring us then to a sage piece of wisdom that you can carry with you until next we meet.
Reginald.
Dave.
What?
Did you hear about the Italian chef who died?
No.
He passed away.
God, I hate you.
We're going to raid out. Until next time, be excellent to each other. And, of course, game on.
Game on. Joke off.